All right, there we go. We rolling. We walking and talking. We out here on these streets as usual. Y'all, we gotta keep it moving. Keep it moving, keep it moving. One of the things I was gonna say about some of the people that I volunteered with the Q Line, one of the women I volunteered with, so I'm gonna tell y'all about 3 people that I volunteered with that I can recall. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. So, well, one couple, it was a mother-daughter, and y'all probably don't know, but I'm friendly. And so we were on the bus, and when we got on the bus, the little shuttle bus heading from the volunteer headquarters where they had put up a tent, they had chandeliers in it. I've never been in a tent with chandeliers. They had flowers on the table. They, I think in their literature, they indicated that they were providing light snacks. And, you know, when we got there, they had sandwiches, turkey, ham, and they had a veggie wrap with quinoa, which I was really impressed with. Y'all know I can't eat quinoa. It makes me nauseous. But I mean, that's like a nice quality food. And, you know, just looking at the way that the wrap looked, the vegetarian one or vegan one, you know, it looked like a good quality of food. I was impressed. So that was one thing, just about, you know, so they had food when we got there. Then they gave us a goodie bag with 2 bags of chips, 2 granola bars, and 2 bottles of water. Of course, they were plastic water bottles and, you know, just mainstream regular chips. But still, I thought that was, you know, a nice gesture, so you ain't out, you know, here volunteering on your 4-hour shift just starving to death and dying. And then they said they was going to have food when we got back. Dinner will be, you know, ready around 6. So I was like, wow, I mean, you know, I guess they got some money. They really taking care of their volunteers. But for this volunteer thing, I'm like, I'm not really a t-shirt person. So I'm like, I get a t-shirt and y'all ain't giving me no Q Line pass or nothing. I mean, what do I get from it? Y'all know I like people. I'm a people person. I'm nosy. Y'all might not know that. So, I mean, I like to, you know, be in the mix sometimes every once in a while, just around, you know, regular people. Try to come out of my little insular world. So here are some of the people that I met, or some of my thoughts about the people. So in terms of walking and talking, one of the women, we got on the shuttle bus going from the volunteer tent to our station, which was interesting. I'm like, so we not gonna ride the Q Line to where we working on the Q Line? They gonna put us on shuttle buses? So that's a whole nother story, because one day at certain times it was very crowded, so it would have been difficult probably for us to be trying to squeeze on, and it would be taken away from the general customer experience. Although I felt kind of like they had us come an hour early, and I'm like, an hour early for what? And I still don't know for what. When I thought about it, I was like, oh, maybe they want us to ride the Q Line, so that's going to give us plenty of time to get to our assigned stations. But no, they just wanted us to sit up there in the volunteer tent and I guess eat, which, you know, I had already eaten, because, you know, I don't like to be out here hungry, because then when you're hungry, you're desperate and you eat junk, you eat craziness. So anyway, we was on the shuttle going to our station, and when we got to the station, I don't know if I was supposed to be there at 1 or whatever time, but we were going up Woodward and then down Woodward, or whatever, down Woodward, then up Woodward, and we were passing by my stop, but I would have had to cross the street, and I was already like 2 minutes till the time I was supposed to be there, and I knew there were people who were volunteering who I was supposed to be relieving. So I was like, well, let me just get off the bus and I'll walk across the street. I don't have to wait for the shuttle to turn around and drop me off right next to the stop. So I jumped off the bus, ran across the street, you know, went, talked to the people who, you know, I was relieving, to figure out, you know, what tips they had, what, you know, oh, be aware of this or whatever. And so, you know, we basically finished and chit-chatting, and they waiting for the shuttle to come back and get them. And 2 women come who I'm going to be working with. And I'm like, oh, is the shuttle there? Did y'all come around, you know, on the shuttle the other way? You know, like, did y'all wait to get off the shuttle until it looped back around? They're like, no, we got off. She's like, well, one woman was like, no, we got off when you got off, young lady. And I was kind of like, oh, and I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking, young lady? I wonder how old she is. And then she's like, and my mother, you know, she got off too. We can't move as quick as you can. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, just ha 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 ha. I went on about my business, volunteering, and we chit-chatting the whole time. It turned out this child is my age. I can't remember now if she's 3 years younger than me or 3 years older than me, but we are contemporaries. And the way she was carrying on, and I'm just, I'm being kind of sarcastic, because I think we are not sarcastic, but it's like a little silly. I'm exaggerating. I mean, she wasn't carrying on like in no crazy way, but it's like, y'all, we got to stay moving, we got to stay active, we got to, work our bodies, because, I mean, she probably thought I don't know how, I never asked her how old she thought I was, but if she felt, that I was young enough for her to be addressing me as young lady and talking about old people, she might not have known, that we were contemporaries. Because when I be thinking of young, you young person, I be thinking of, they got to at least be 10 years younger than me, usually 20, 25, 30 years younger than me, for me to be like, oh, they're so young and cute. They got so much energy. Although I met this little, this cute little, this is totally separate, but this cute little family on the train yesterday. It was a big sister, a little sister, and a mom. And the big sister is a teenager, and she plays tennis. But y'all, she was so tired. She's just tired. She tired. I'm like, what's she tired for? Oh, well, she has a tough tennis schedule. That's how I found out she played tennis. But you know how these teenagers be tired. These young people be tired all the time. But yeah, I'm grateful for mobility, and it kind of motivates me to stay in motion and keep working with my water, keep working with my movement, and all of that, because it's important. It's like, yeah, shoot, sometimes I wake up and I have a little ache here, a little pain there. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't feel no aches and no pains now. I'm out here walking. Yesterday I did a double walk. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, my body is broken because I walked twice as long yesterday as my normal time. No, it's like the movement is good. It keeps the energy flowing. It's the chi, it's a good thing. And, I want to be around, at least mentally, people who are in motion. Shoot, we ain't stagnant. We growing and developing and moving and making things happen. So that's what I got for her. But one of the people that I met, the mother had been one of the first black women to, I think, work with the sanitation department or some city department. So that was kind of exciting. She had worked, in city government for 25, 35 years. Hey, how y'all doing? Happy Mother's Day. She had worked in city government for quite a while. So that was kind of cool. And I met this guy who, travel in the same circles. It's funny, you see people, you talk to them. Again, I'm friendly. I talk to everybody. But he was like an older black man. And I could tell he had, had a little sophistication, had been around the world, and I don't know if he found his baby or not. I don't know him like that. But the second time when he got off the people mover, it turns out that he knows my mother. And I saw he was wearing an Ifuma, a cap designed by Ifuma. I saw it. I'm like, that looked like something Ifuma would do. Then I saw Ifuma's name on it. I'm like, oh, Lord, you know Ifuma? He like, yeah, I know Ifuma. He know my mama. He know. So anyway, it was just a small world. And it was nice, to meet him. Hey, how are you? Good. It was nice to meet him, be out here on these streets, meeting good people, progressive people. So that was another person I ran into, and that was a really nice, positive, encouraging encounter. Speaking of somebody who, I think he said did he say 71, 77? Look, it's all the same to me. I don't want to say he old, but he up in age. He got some age on him. And he out and about moving and traveling and, lucid and energetic and friendly and personable and out here taking photographs and living life. Is like, yes, that's the vision. That's the inspiration. And then I worked with a white guy who grew up in Detroit on the east side, like English Village, I think he said they call it now. And now he lives in, I think it's Oakland County, out by Oakland Mall. Did he say Oakland County? Y'all don't be knowing none of this stuff. But I did ask him about the Star Theater, which I used to work at by Oakland Mall. He said, yeah, that's his neighborhood, I guess. I don't know. But y'all, he asked me about black people and education. He said, you're an educated person. Why do black people do they discourage? How did he ask the question? Because I was kind of like, usually I don't engage in those types of conversations because I feel like it's ignorant and it's not sincere and it's an attack and it's some bullshit and I'm just not going to participate. But I can't remember exactly how he asked me the question, but I kind of answered it because I'm like, for whatever reason, I got the impression, well, maybe it was somewhat sincere as he can be from his, his worldview. You figure, I guess I figure if they don't know by now, they ain't gonna know. If they cut themselves off from being exposed, especially if they live in the Detroit area, if they've cut themselves off from being exposed, if I'm the first educated black person he met, where you been? Because he about, 60, 65, 50, I don't know how old he was, but he was a grown man who had, grown children. So I hope I'm not the first educated black person that he's met, because y'all, Detroit is full of educated black people. I'm like, and statistically, especially if you talk about black women, we're the most educated demographic out here. So not only do we value education, but I think that we overvalue and overinvest in quote unquote formal education, because we invest in those systems, we have those student loans, and they don't translate into income. And I think that we've been taught, oh, if you get a good education, you get a good job. This thing done found another chicken bone, then, that's everything. But, we kind of had a conversation about white privilege, about propaganda, about, I just said what I thought. Yeah, I'm not rude, but I ain't tell no lies, or I ain't, damper it down. But, so I don't know, I hadn't figured out if I was offended or not, but I guess I wasn't offended, because if I was offended, I would have, just swerved that conversation. So, I guess, it was cool. We had it relatively early on in our 4-hour shift. But, I was kind of giving him half the side eye the whole time. But it's better, I think, in a way, to have shit out on the table, because I just figure if I'm dealing with a white man, I can make certain assumptions about who they are and how they look at me and how they perceive the world. But I don't know until they open their mouth and we have some conversation and I get some sense of it. So, it was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting. I'm like, am I gonna have to be fighting out here on these queue lines now? Don't make me have to give you a beat down talking about black people don't value education. Shit. All right, y'all. So that's what I got. It is a beautiful, wonderful day out here. It's not sunny. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of y'all. Happy Mothers of Humanity Day. Whether you have given birth to children or not, if you a black woman or not a black woman, we're all black women originally, because everything started with the black woman. Then, we're all the mothers of humanity. We've given birth to humanity. We started this whole thing. And y'all, when you mama, and you got to get stuff together, you got to get stuff right. So we started it, and we gotta use that energy, that love, that magic to right this, I don't want to say wrong, but just get stuff, rebalance stuff. We giving it mother love today. So love to all the mothers, and mother love power, Lord. All right, y'all, be you, be fabulous. My lips are a little, are my lips dry? Be you, be fabulous you. Peace.